Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Ready to Love Season 3, Episode 3 and whatnot. Okay, we have a new president-elect. Okay, yes, we is absolutely freaking happy right now. Okay, yeah. To, you know what I'm saying, Biden Harris 2020, getting that man who was orange and he lives in the house that's the color rice up out the house that's the color rice. I can eventually say those words without any issue. Okay, so congrats, okay, to Biden and Harris for being the new people in the White House and stuff. We know not till January, but I am excited nonetheless. I told y'all before, Biden, Harris, all up and through and whatnot. But okay, first things first, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. And become a JayBird, dun. That's as loud as I'm gonna sing it because it's 1 o'clock in the morning and all that goodness and stuff and whatnot. Y'all already know. Like, comment, and subscribe and share. Okay, y'all already know to inhale and to exhale. Okay, y'all already know to relax and to relate and to release. Okay, y'all already know to center yourself and anyone around you. Okay, y'all already know to follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, so now this show has come to the point where each week someone will be going home and either the men or the women have the power to send someone home. So this week the ladies have the power and two men will be going home. I'm like, okay, that's cool and whatnot. So time, like, y'all got a whole week to date each other, get to know one another, to explore each other. It's a lot to do on this resort, so make sure to take advantage of all that it is to do, okay? Because again, at the end of the week, someone will be going home. Now we have Adriana, okay, who's the youngin', okay, who ghosted Rashid, the man who's behind her right now. She said, even though I ghosted him before, like, he looked like a tall drink of water now, and I'm thirsty. I'm looking like, oh, okay. I guess someone you did not take serious years ago, it doesn't mean that now that you're older and they may be a little bit older and you may be more open to things, that you can't like them now. So, I mean, if she like it, I guess I love it. I mean, not really, because I don't know the people, but it is what it is. We also have Chris and Naya. Okay, now Chris said that Naya is really not even his type of woman that he usually goes for, but he cannot deny they have this chemistry. So he asked her on a date. Okay, now I'm like, well, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You want to go, you want to try things outside your comfort zone because that's why you here. Okay, because you have not gotten it right just yet. Okay, now we then see Simone is sitting with Raymond. Okay, boom, pow. And Simone brings up how because she was in the bottom two last week, well, he was also in the bottom two, that she asked the guy, like, what was the issue? And the guy told her that, she just seemed really guarded. Okay, and so it's like, I'm gonna try to open up more, to be more open or whatever, so that no one feels as if I'm guarded, because you don't want to date somebody guarded, not on a TV show. Okay, now Raymond, who's again also in the bottom two, asked her on a group date. Because he say, let's just try to get to know each other. I feel like group dates are cool, but at the same time, I want a real date. So we do see Chris and Naya go on a little kayaking dates. Okay, it was real cute. She brings up how it's been a while, okay, since she's been on a real date, and she knows she deserves real good dates or whatever. And they just kayaked, okay, and chilled in the water and talked and vibed out. They then went up on not on the beach. They went up, and sat down on a little bench or whatever, talked some more, toasted to being and having a successful date, okay, to new beginnings, And Chris brings up how he wanted to kiss her. Okay, he wanted to kiss her, but he didn't want to seem too thirsty, too quick or whatever. He do ask her, like, what she think about having kids, and she say did he ask her that she wanted them ask about kids, but they both say how they both want kids, and neither of them want to wait because they both feel like they're both getting older, and so they want to kind of act it right now. So now we then see the group date. There's a group date that I couldn't get a good enough photo, but this is a good y'all gonna get. With David, Raymond, Simone, Alicia, Joy, who has the big hair, and then Jay, who has the bald head. David is in a white shirt. Raymond is in the green, it's like green shirt or whatever. And then, of course, Simone with the long brown hair, and then Alicia, who has the black hair. Now, Simone mentions how, David was actually one of her top guys, and how, but she also felt like, no, he's one of her top guys, but she know that it's hard to pull back her layers. And David agreed and told her, like, well, I had no idea that I was a top guy for you, because you kind of treated me like, you really had no interest or whatnot, but I'm glad we got that cleared up. At that point, Alicia, with the black straight hair, who's sitting next to Simone, say, well, I was trying to approach you a few times or whatever, but you didn't seem like you wanted to talk to me. I feel like Alicia is looking for a sponsor. Alicia is looking for someone to pay for her lifestyle, to take care of her and her children. And there's nothing wrong with wanting a spouse or a mate to support you, but I feel like she's looking more for support than love and companionship. And I feel like it's a difference. It's the kind of way she asks questions that makes me feel like she's worried about, can he afford me? Can he afford me? Can he afford to pay all the bills I have and help me pay my children? And I feel like you here for a sponsor. Okay, we're going to leave that be. But, he bring up David as like, well, okay, but I can't, like today is only day 2. Like, we still shifting around and meeting people. I feel like that was his way of saying, I didn't like dish you, but I also wasn't trying to talk to you. Like, I'm still trying to like mix and mingle, so it wasn't anything personal. Now, at that point in time, Joy, let me see, was it this picture? Yes, Joy, big hair, brings up how, well, David, I feel like you're a mystery man, you know what I'm saying? You walked in on day 1, you had on a hat, you had on sunglasses or whatever, but I'm like, but you there in a full-on sew-in weave that covers half your face. Like, you keep having to move the weave out your face so we can see you, and so that you can see. So I feel like you're covered up as well. Like, we can't really see who you are. Like, I couldn't point you out of a lineup unless you had the curliness of your hair. So I feel like, you can't say someone came in being mysterious or they self-covered, and you came in with your own personal hat and sunglasses on your head. I won't leave that be or whatever. And he was at first laughing, but he then comes back around and he said, innocent, but I did come back around to you. And when he said that, he pointed at her face or whatever. And, hold up, don't point, don't put your fingers in my face, don't do that. And she then say how he was being disrespectful. I feel 2 different ways about that. I do think people need to watch how you put your hands or fingers in other people's personal space. I also feel like if I'm sitting right next to you and we're talking and I do this, it's really not me trying to disrespect you or trying to put my finger in your face, but we just happen to be right here. I don't feel he meant any disrespect. I don't feel he did it in a way to be offensive. I think he was just trying to, like, I came back around trying to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And she just took it differently because his finger was in her face or whatever. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the moment went somewhere it did not need to go. And it made her feel a way that I feel like it wasn't necessary or whatever. But I mean, that's her feeling. I'm letting her feel how she feels. But Simone speaks up to kind of like, smooth it on out. And she then goes, so, well, I feel like me and David are both the same as in how we're both guarded. We have that in common. So, even if he's here with a hat and sunglasses or whatever, that made it to be his mechanism. You know what I'm saying? She's like, for me, like, it's hard to open up, blah, 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 blah. She brings up how, her father made her feel like she was never good enough or whatever. So she then dated men who didn't trust women, and she did not trust the men. And the men she dated was always trying to force her in one way or the other to prove her love like her father did, so that of course had made her have issues or whatever, because she felt like she was always trying to prove like she was good enough for love. But she brings up how she's learning to not be so hard and so tough, and to not be so guarded. And I feel like that's a step in the right direction, because again, people sometimes don't want to open up on day one. So then they get on Raymond, okay? And when they get on Raymond, Alicia say how she walked, and Alicia's again the one in the black hair, the long straight black hair, the black shirt. She brings up how for her that she walked away from trying to get to know Raymond because of him being 52, saying he was older. So Jay, who has the bald head, then say, well, was it his age or was it him having 5 kids? I say, I mean, that's a good question, okay? Alicia then say, well, it was that too, because I'm high maintenance, okay? And you can't afford me, your 5 kids and my kids too. That's 8 people to take care of, because she has 2 kids. And Raymond looking like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I am 52. I have 5 kids by 4 women, okay? He had never been married. I'm looking like, that's a lot. 52, 5 kids, 4 baby mamas, and you've never been married. It looks as if you have had a life of not settling down, okay, and just living by the seat of your pants. So it do seem like you've never been about, putting down no roots with one person or whatever. I'm gonna leave that be. I feel like Raymond don't need to be on this show, because it's a lot. Like, you can have 5 kids and want love now, but he still feel like he talks as if he's trying to still figure out what he wants, and he kind of flowing with it or whatever. So we do see his little kids party. It's a pool party. Brian set it up. It wasn't much to do about it or whatever. One of the girls, she brings up how, well, guys, y'all should have a push-up contest and then not wear no shirts, okay? You can't wear no shirts. So the guy take their shirts off, do their pushes or whatever. And Rashid then say, well, y'all got us out here without no shirts on, but y'all walk around in cover-ups or whatever. What's up with that? When the girl said y'all should take y'all shirts off, I promise you, my thought was, the woman would be upset if the guy said, y'all should take y'all stuff. Like, I'm a person where I feel like you can't do something without thinking, what if they said to us, how would we feel? And then when Rashid said, y'all wearing cover up, like we get a pool party, take y'all cover up off, whatever. Denise then say, of course he'll say that. You know what I'm saying? She says Rashid is not a bad person, okay? But he reminds me of a narcissist I dated before that I dealt with for a long time. And I'm like, okay, because he's the one that asked them to take their cover-ups off. But I'm not, you at a pool party that y'all just asked the men to take their shirts off, and they did. I don't think it's wrong if they then say, okay, we'll take y'all cover-up off. If y'all want us to show y'all our bodies, show us y'all's. And that's again, be careful what you ask for, because you can't want to objectify men and then get upset if they ask you to take off your cover-up. Okay, they didn't say get naked and say tits or whatever, but I'm leave that be. Anyway, we then see like all of them sitting around or whatever, like I guess at dinner. And then Rashid, they was talking about having a pool table and playing pool. Rashid then say, well, I have a pool table at home, but I can't play pool. I'm saying, I just have it for the look. They're like, why would you have a pool table if you can't play pool? He said, because for the look of it all. And I'm like, the same reason people have a pool and can't swim. Like, people have things in their homes for decoration. People have whole living room sets that can't nobody sit on because it's a look, okay? So I feel like them making it seem as if, oh, he trying to brag that he has a pool. Y'all talking about playing pool table. Y'all talking about playing pool. He has a pool table, and with that. But he then bring up how I was also in Nordstrom's shopping for pajamas, what makes it seem like he trying to list where he shop. That may be expensive to some, but I'm like, Nordstrom's not even really expensive, truth be told. The girl's like, I would get my pajamas in Walmart. I'm like, no shade, but Walmart is cheap. You don't have to get up. You can't want to feel like he is being arrogant or trying to act like his life is just this extravagant thing because he don't shop at Walmart. Because I feel like if a dude, because you can have a guy say, well, I get my shoes from Walmart, I would get my, it's like everybody had a shopping preference. I would not get my pajamas from Walmart, but I've gotten clothes, yes, but you can't make it feel like someone shopping there at Nordstrom's is them trying to be extra, because Nordstrom's is not that expensive, if you ask me. Anyway, we then see Denise and Kafani is sitting around talking and vibing or whatever. I'm saying, she brings up how, he isn't even the type of guy I usually go for, but it's something about him that I just like we just vibe or whatever. And they sitting and talking and chit-chatting or whatever. She brings up how, she wants to do different things. She wants to have some land and open up businesses. He said, oh, you want to bring back Black Wall Street? She said, yeah, I want that. I think the king, here with me to do this and that and then this. And so they speak about, you have to be careful what you ask God for, because if you do, you have to be sure that you're ready for it. And that is, again, they sitting and bonding and chatting or whatever. He also brings up how he is aware that he says, I'm aware that everything that I have in my life, it comes from something besides myself. Like, I'm aware that I'm being blessed with it. Okay. And he said he really thinks that they have hit it off. Again, they have a cool connection, but it's something about Denise that don't sit right with me. And I don't have time for people who feel as if you say something about a darker skinned person, that's because she dark skinned. It's like, no, I really hate that, because it makes me feel like, well, I can't be honest about them, because I feel like people who light skin are assholes too. But something about Denise gives me asshole vibes. I don't know what it is yet. And again, she may not be a bad person, but she gives me asshole vibes or whatnot. So we do see Alicia and David are playing pool, okay? David is a country boy, okay? Alicia's the one who I feel like she wants a sponsor. And she asked him if he's controlling, or does he like having control of the finance. He said, well, yeah, I feel like, for certain things, I do think I would be in control of it if I'm the man of the house. She said, okay, so like as the man of the house, do you feel like you should pay for everything? He said, well, I do think some women feel that way, but I think it depends. He said, like, I don't have any kids, but you have 2 kids, so how am I responsible for everything, in that situation? Which kind of makes her feel some kind of way. And she brings up, I want a strong man, a man that understands what it means to raise and take care of some kids. And I feel like I got what she meant. I also got what he meant. And I feel like the way she asked him about that and the way he responded, I feel like they both were on 2 different pages. I feel like when I'm talking to someone, I'm not going to ask them if they feel like they can pay for everything when I have children. Because, again, when I'm dating you, that ain't what it's about. But I do feel like once we are in a committed relationship, and if I have, children that have to be taken care of, you would have to help contribute. But I would not expect any man come into my situation to fully, wholeheartedly support my kids, like, without me helping. And I feel like the way she worded it was like, you pay for whatever, all your money, is how I took what she said. I think what he took it as too was, why would I pay for everything if them your kids? Like, why wouldn't we be, splitting or whatever? Because I feel like, there was a conversation over time and an understanding over time about that. You can't have one quick convo about that. And I feel like they both were misunderstanding the other one, but I'm going to leave that. But I feel like Alicia is there for a sponsor, okay? So we do see old man Raymond sitting with Adriana, say how he really likes her. I'm saying, I like it, whatever I'm saying. But he then brings up how, like, he'll like someone and he'll be with them as if they're married or whatever, but he just rather roll with stuff instead of rushing to get married. And she's like, well, this roll with it, man, like, you keep pushing it off like that. It seems like you're not, for real about things. You keep pushing things off as if it does not matter. And he like, well, no, but marriage is just like a piece of paper. She's like, yeah, so if it's just that, like, why live like we married and not get married if you feel like it's just a piece of paper? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And he talking like he ain't really there to have any kind of commitment. He just wants to keep, being like boyfriend, girlfriend forever, and that ain't what you're here for. And I like how she kind of called him out on it. You know what I'm saying? She recognized him saying the whole, this wrong with the thing. And she realized what it meant. Okay, I'm going to leave that be. So we then see all the ladies meet up with Tommy to discuss who needs to go home, who they like. Alex likes Brian. I didn't pull up pictures. Alex likes Brian. Joy, who has the big hair, likes Kafani. And Jay's the bald head dude. Kafani's the big muscle guy that Denise likes. Winter likes Anthony and Jay. Jay's the bald head guy. We have not seen Anthony that much. Denise says she also likes Anthony and Kafani. Adriana said Rashid's my man. Okay, he my man or whatever. And I think we have the most connection. But I also like Kafani. Now they say Kafani likes everybody too. So, he's a bit of a playboy. Now, Naya, of course, likes Chris. She brings up how their date, kayaking, was amazing or whatever. She's never had a date that good. But Naya does not like Raymond. Adriana says Raymond just kind of rubs her the wrong way because of the whole not wanting to get married or whatever. Alicia, who I say is here for a sponsor, does not like David because he said like he don't want to have to pay for kids. Again, he said it the wrong way. But I feel like that was more of a miscommunication between the two. I'm gonna leave that be. Joy then again, I don't like it. I don't like him either. You know what I'm saying? Because he said it to you, and then he went off on everybody at the picnic table. I'm like, he didn't go off on everybody. Well, they didn't show us that he went off on anyone. Okay, you just upset because as you say he put his finger in my face. I'm like, girl, bye. Denise like, sorry. Adriana, I don't like Rashid. I feel like, I feel like he's a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? I know what I mean. Like, I've dated men like before, so y'all might not know the signs, okay? But he is definitely a narcissist. She then say because he, with him being tall, him being light skinned, him being from a college fraternity, and him having these luxuries in life. I'm like, that's not a narcissist. He might be arrogant, but that's not a narcissist. Like, that's not what, and I'm like, and Adrian, like, she's like, that's not what a narcissist is, but I'm gonna leave it be. Tommy, like, well, let's clear some things up. Ain't nothing wrong with being light-skinned, being in the fraternity, then throws up his stuff or whatnot. Because, again, he's a tall, light-skinned, wealthy man who's, so you just describes him. And so she's like, no, but I just get, what, I just don't know. And I'm like, again, it's something about Denise I can't put my finger on or whatever. So Adriana said, well, look, I didn't get them vibes from him. I'm saying I don't know about that or whatever. But Denise then say, well, men will try who they think they can try with. And I'm like, that was a diss to her. And she's like, I'm gonna act like I heard her say that. I'll make a note because again, she either has an issue with me or him. Because why? I'm like, yeah, why, girl? Anyway, Alicia and Winter both said how they kind of don't like Rashid either. So Tom, okay, well, it's three men, Raymond, David, and Rashid, who are up for elimination or whatever. So y'all have to meet with them and send two of the three home. Now, in my opinion, if I was a contestant, I would be like this. Who do we all not like that no one else likes? Let's see who that is, right? Because if you like somebody who I don't like, I don't care. But if we all don't like someone, that's who should be first up on chopping block. Because why would I want to send home someone you good with? That's how I think it should be. I would not be saying, oh, she like Rashid, but I don't. I want to see. I don't like that. I think it's a way to say, well, who all y'all don't like. But I'm going to leave that be or whatnot. So we then see they have to meet up with the dudes. Boom, 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 boom. So Adriana meets up with Raymond. We see Denise is up there with David. And then Winter and Rashid meet up. I could not get a good picture of Rashid with Winter. I think it's because he's so tall and she's shorter, they could not get a good camera angle. So Adriana, who was meeting with Raymond up top on this side, tell some of the ladies feel like the 5 kids thing, you know what I'm saying, and how you think marriage is not important. Like that's not a good thing. And so for that reason, you're going home. And he was okay with it. He kind of saw it coming. He brought up how maybe the person for me, this is not here yet, okay? But I'm still ready to love, and I wish, everyone here well. So he like, okay, my time is up. I gotta go. And I was like, oh, that's nice that he realized his time is up. Okay, we then see Winter and with Rashid. She tells him how, the ladies feel like you are sending your rap. Okay, they have not met the real you, who you really are, and they don't like that. I'm like, okay. Now when David and Denise meet, excuse me, when David and Denise meet, she tells him how, where you went wrong was you told Alicia that you felt like you did not have to take care of her kids. I'm saying it felt like you said fuck her kids. Now I was like, I don't think you said fuck them kids. But again, it was what it was. And he admit, well, maybe I worded it wrong, but that's not what I meant. I feel like I was saying that you can't expect me to walk into a new situation being fully responsible for your children when they're not my kids. You know what I'm saying? But once we together as a couple, like, that's a given that I would have to, support the family or not. But she like, yeah, you're going home for it. So again, that means Rashid is staying. Rashid was happy that he was staying. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. He said, I'm going to, show myself a little bit more. Now with David and Denise, I feel like the way she was talking to, like, even when she's like, all right, bro, time to go. I said, oh, that's so sad. But he was shocked. He was like, you can tell he was pissed or whatever. He said, I'm a gentleman. So I feel like me going home for this is hard for me. And I'm like, I can see his point, because I feel like Alicia is here looking for someone to pay for her lifestyle. And that one thing should not have sent him home. Because again, you can't expect someone to meet you and say, well, yeah, I'm going to take care of your kids. One, how old are your kids? If they 17 and 18, at that point, they got a job? Like, I would not want, I don't have kids too, but I feel like the women in my life who have kids, and that means from adults, friends, family, people who I know who have kids, they have never wanted someone to come into their life as they're dating to support their children. And I feel like that is what Alicia expects, because she's high maintenance. But I'm going to leave that being whatnot. Anyway, that's the whole episode. So bye-bye to Raymond and bye-bye to Davids. Okay, the country bumpkin and the old head with 5 kids. Okay, peace.